Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's FearsomeFire here, and I am back with another Super Mario Odyssey moon jump experimenting video. This is the third one and also the final one. As you guys know, I did a part 1 where I just went through most of the mainland, part 2 where I did some sub areas, and then in part 3 I'm basically going through the rest of the sub areas in the game. However, in this one what I did is I went through the sub areas first, and anything that was notable in any of the sub areas I basically am going to show to you guys right now. Not all sub areas are that interesting, so I decided that, you know, only the ones that are really worth mentioning am I going to mention. So that's basically what I'm just going to be doing. I'm going to be post commentary, going through all this stuff, anything that I found sort of cool, and yeah, let's go. So the first one on the list is over here, and I went back to the Mushroom Kingdom to the boss fights, and none of the boss fights are that cool. Obviously the Metro one from the last episode was actually pretty cool. However, the one right here with the Gushin, and I don't remember this boss's name, I tried to see if you could get inside the water tower early. Usually the moon spawns inside of it once you basically, you know, beat the boss fight, and there's actually an invisible wall protecting you or blocking you off from being able to go inside the water tower, which kind of surprised me, but yeah, that's a notable thing. You actually can't go inside of it. I tried to do some other stuff, but there really wasn't much to do. Other than that, this area is not that interesting. And then I guess I might as well show them really quickly. For the wooded one, if you do a ground pound jump and you go up, it just kind of glitches out the game. The visuals get messed up. There really isn't too much. And then in the Ruined Kingdom one, it's a very similar thing. There is no land around you. There's nothing else to explore or look at or stand on top of. It's just visual stuff that gets kind of messed up. So that's really all there is. Moving on to the Sand Kingdom, I think I did Cascade and Cap in the last one. But in the Sand Kingdom, just a quick thing in the main world with this hack, it doesn't give you infinite jumping. It lets you jump pretty far or pretty high. If you do a ground pound jump, you can actually get up onto this little floating island. Not really that interesting, but here in this sub area right here with basically the Jaxi Ruins, I'm forgetting the names, I'm not going to be able to remember the names for all of these. The Jaxi Ruins sub area, I always wondered if you can get on top of the outer wall that surrounds it. It's very far away, and it's actually completely transparent, and you'll see that there's some other areas that also have transparent walls, but there's really not much to do. I tried to go, you know, on top of it in different locations, but it's just transparent. You go right through it, and yeah. Okay, so this next sub area is very interesting. It's where the invisible moais are, the invisible moai, and basically, you know, it has a very tall ceiling, and you really can't see the ceiling. It turns out that the ceiling is there. It's a black ceiling above you, and you do get stopped by it if you try to jump up. But the interesting thing about this sub area is that on both ends of the sub area, there's basically this like really big pit, and it's just very far away from where you can walk, and there's no way to get to the other side of like the big pit / gap, whatever it is, and there's like a wall on the far side, and there's no way to get over there with Mario's moveset. You can get kind of close actually, if you go up on these invisible invisible blocks and then long jump over. However, normally you can't get over, and it turns out that there are textures, and you can actually sit on top of the little decal, you know, pyramid statue guys, I don't even know what they're called, on the far ends of this sub area. You can actually stand on top of them, which is quite interesting. Since there's no way to actually get over there normally, you can stand on top. So that's just a quick little thing that I thought was really interesting, how they actually allow you to stand on top of it. Moving on to the Wooded Kingdom and the Deep Woods, there really isn't too much. However, there is one cool thing, being that if you actually go above the point where the loading zone is to leave the Deep Woods, you can actually go on the vine, and you can see the part where it just keeps loading, you know, the next part of the vine going upwards, and it's kind of never ending. So you can get above the loading zone, and you just get kind of stuck at the very top. So that's quite interesting, something you would not normally be able to do. And then this tank room sub area, the only interesting thing that I could really come up with was just the fact that you can get to this unreachable spot where usually you have to shoot out this dirt, you know, whatever, with the tank, and there's like this ledge and you can't get on top of it, but with the hack you can jump on top of it. It's completely solid, not really much besides that, but just a quick little thing to note. And the next one, so there's a sub area in the Lake Kingdom which has these really, really tall buildings. It's like I don't know, like the climbing sub area where you grab onto the ledge, and there's these very tall, you know, structures, 2 of them, and there's no way to get up on them normally. However, you can get on top of them, and they are solid if you use the moon jump hack. So that's just an interesting thing to note. There's no coins or anything up there, sadly. It'd be really crazy if there were, especially since, as far as I know, there's no way to get up on top of there. I've actually tried before without using hacks, and you really can't get too close, which is kind of a shame. Maybe we'll find a way to do it one day, who knows, but yeah, that's that. Okay, and then there's this zipper section in the Lake Kingdom, in which basically most of the zipper section is just these like really flat walls where you'd use the zippers for, and you kind of just break down the walls with the zippers. However, there are a couple spots at the top of like this section where it's actually just solid, you know, regular platform that you can sit on top of, and there's no way to get up here normally. However, you know, it's pretty cool that you can sit on top of it. No coins, again, none of these really have coins, but you know, just a quick little thing to show off. And then there's also another spot in the Lake Kingdom, which is a much, you know, not as tall as the other two. However, this one's still a little interesting. There's no way to get on top of here as far as I know. I've tried to in the past. You can get pretty close. There might be a way with like a triple jump off of some platform. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to get on top. As far as I know, you can't, but you can get on top of this little entrance spot, and there is nothing on top. It's really not that interesting, but yeah. Okay, here's a very interesting one. In the dinosaur sub-area where you're being chased by the dinosaur wearing the aviator hat, you know, usually you use the scooter, whatever, but you actually, when you use the speed hacks of this mod to run really, really quickly, the dinosaur stays right behind you the entire time. So the dinosaur is actually kind of based off of how fast you're moving. You can go at you can't really outrun him is what I'm trying to say, which is really interesting. I found that quite interesting. Also near the end of this sub area, there's like this, you know, there's this part of the building that like, you know, doesn't go up as much. It seems like if you could jump up, you can maybe sit on top of it, but it's just, there's just an invisible wall there, and as you can see right here, you can't actually get on top of it, which is kind of a shame, but whatever. Alright, so here is quite an interesting one. Over in the New Donk City power plant, there's a lot of decoration going on around you, and usually it's hard to see because you're kind of limited by the camera and, you know, etc. There really isn't much to say. You're just kind of limited by the camera. However, with this hack, although we really can't sit on top of anything new or do anything super new, it just gives it, you can get a better view at what's going on around it. It's actually quite beautiful. They put a lot of detail into the surrounding area, and obviously it kind of glitches out at times, but it's still quite interesting, and there's actually like a lot of stuff going on with the power plant that you usually don't really notice when you first play through the game without using hacks. And also this like big power plant blimp thing you get caught under, you can try to get on top of, and it just kind of stops you there. So that's another little interesting thing. There's actually a lot of weird stuff going on in this entire area. Okay, and then here we are in the Seaside Kingdom. As you guys may or may not know, I did a video a little bit ago responding to Nathan Heath's video where he actually got on top of these islands legitimately that surround this sub area with the rising lava, and all of them were solid. However, I did find something quite interesting, is that there is this one platform which isn't solid, which, you know, it would make sense if all of them weren't solid. However, the fact that all of them are solid except for this one platform is quite bizarre. I found that a little interesting, something that I just wanted to throw in here. It didn't really make much sense to me, but yeah. Okay, so here is something that is actually related to something that gets sent to me a lot, and basically a lot of the times I get sent people to ask me to try to make it on the outer area of this sub area in the Snow Kingdom, and there's no way to do it as far as I know, but people, you know, they're thinking maybe if we got like a perfect jump, we could actually jump on top of it. You know, I don't even know if it's, you know, I never knew if you could even get on top of it or if there's like an invisible wall, but it turns out you cannot sit on top of it, you'll just fall right through. There is like an invisible wall, but if you go past the invisible wall and fall through, there's really nothing. It's just kind of, you know, it's whatever. There's no textures behind it, so that kind of just, you know, proves to us right there that we really can't do much past that section or this section right here. And then finally, the very last one is the Bound Bull race. There's surprisingly not really that much going on that really hasn't been seen by other people who have glitched out of bounds. However, I always tried to see if I could get on top of the middle central disc thing. I don't even know what it's called, and I was never able to, so I tried to do it with the hack, and you just fall right through. So that's basically that, and that's basically all I really have for interesting things. I didn't show off anything in here that I showed off in the last video. If it was like a cool thing that was shown off in the other two videos, I didn't show it off here. And then in terms of other stuff, all the other sub areas didn't really offer much. It just kind of was like regular, either like, you know, there'd be like a ceiling or just be kind of like whatever you would expect. There was nothing really that interesting in the rest of the sub areas in the game, which is kind of surprising, kind of a shame, but I mean, it's just how it was. There's a chance I could have missed a couple sub areas. However, I think that I got all of them, although I could have maybe missed like one or two that I you know, who knows, I could have missed some, but like I said, the rest of them weren't really that interesting. These are just the ones that were kind of interesting. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this experimenting with the moon jump hack part 3, aka the finale, probably the finale. I find it very unlikely that I'll do another one with the moon jump hack. I will still probably be doing hacking videos if other cool hacks come out. I don't want to just, you know, do a hacking video just because, you know, something minimal comes out. I don't really see the point. Like, you know, like I know that some YouTubers have been doing stuff like in terms of retexturing the game or just replacing certain stuff in the game, which is cool. However, for me personally, I only really want to make videos on hacking if it's something significant that's actually interesting to me. So that's just a heads up for you guys. I'll probably be waiting on, you know, something else comes out. Also, I might even do it for other games as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed part 3 of the moon jumping experimenting video. Done a little bit differently, but hopefully this is a little bit better. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and have a wonderful day.